We are at 3:45.
Okay, unmute everybody, please. Stephen, can you unmute everyone?
I've requested them to unmute.
Everyone has the ability to mute or unmute themselves now.
Okay, Rick, unmute yourself. Okay, all right. Well, welcome to all of you who are attending. Very, very sorry for the technical delay here. A glitch. Hopefully you were not impatient and stayed around. The 2021 annual meeting of the Del Webb Sweetgrass Homeowners Association will come to order. Will the board secretary confirm that we have a quorum and that notice has been given?
With the 440 proxies we have in hand that, and we only needed 20% of a 1,539 homes, which would have been 308. I declare that we have a quorum.
All right, next slide, please, Stephen. Thank you. So we've met the Article 3, Section 3.10. All right, very good. Okay, the minutes of the 2020 annual meeting have been distributed to the board. Any corrections to these minutes? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, I need a second, please.
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by yay. The motion to approve the minutes
Yay.
is approved and adopted. All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. I'd like to make some introductions here. Next slide, please. Your board of directors are all visible here. Larry Gervin, treasurer; Bruce Gilman, president; Don Tomlinson, vice president; Sue Muirla, secretary; and Don Nath, director, all present and accounted for. And we welcome you. Let me go quickly over what the role of the board is. Many people assume that the board are these folks that you happen to elect and moved on. I'll skip through this very quickly. You can read it. The community association consists of people that you've elected to represent and protect your interests and the interests of the community as a whole. They're actually corporate entities. Board members must maintain the value of a jointly owned asset, which is this whole facility. Community associations are social entities. Neighborhoods, we all live together here. I like to describe this as one big cruise ship that you don't get off. We're all here, we live with each other, occasionally visit other places, but always come back to the boat. And ultimately, our function is to protect, increase the property values of this place and everybody who lives here. This is accomplished by operating the association, maintaining the property, enforcing the governing documents. Next slide, please. I think of a slide before this. All right. As members of the community, you have some responsibilities as well. You need to attend your annual meetings, and we're very sorry about how late this one started. Apologies. Attending board meetings, either in person or as we now can do it online, very important so that you know what's going on. Provide constructive feedback. Adhere to the rules and regulations and the guidelines that we've set up in these governing documents that it keeps our values up. Paying assessments in a timely manner, getting involved and making a difference. Many of you people have been stepping forward. We appreciate that very much. Next slide, please. Okay, you've heard about the neighborhood committees. They were quite active some time ago. We have reestablished that. We have now almost every neighborhood, I believe every neighborhood now has neighborhood representatives set up. And you're going to see a lot more activity. We had to defer a meeting that we had scheduled for this month. We will reschedule that. And what are the responsibilities of the committee representatives? To welcome new residents to the neighborhood. We had a welcoming committee, but at this level now, we'd like to see the neighborhood representatives welcome new residents. ensuring important HOA and board communications are being distributed. That's part of our communication system. Act as the liaison between the residents and the board. Host a quarterly meeting with the residents in your neighborhoods. Gather and report any maintenance concerns or needs affecting your neighborhood, and ensuring that you have a representative at the quarterly neighborhood advisory council meetings. And as I say, these will be reestablished, and we'll be having these very shortly. Next slide, please. Okay, you've heard about the management team. At this point, I'd like to introduce Kelly. Kelly is our resident manager here for the company that the board and the HOA employs to do the management of the facilities. And Kelly, would you take it from here?
Yep, happy to, Bruce. Thank you. So just like the board has a role and homeowners have a role and neighborhood committees have a role, the management team plays a big role in the functionality of the community. And we handle the day-to-day operations, which includes things like processing invoices, making sure vendors are getting paid. We call vendors out to do maintenance repairs. Our team handles covenants enforcements, monthly inspections of the community. We process modification applications for those of you that want to make changes to your home or yard. We handle the community's financial reporting, and we play a big role in the budgeting every year, setting a draft budget and working with the finance committee and board to get those approved. We're responsible for the common area maintenance and the amenity maintenance. That would be like your lake house or your nature park or your Sunrise Point Park. We have a team of people that handle lifestyle and event planning, which is a big part of a Del Webb community. Lifestyle is one of the primary reasons that most people move here. And so they play a big part in making this a successful place to live. Communications, whether that's through the website or e-blasts, our team is the one that puts those together, puts articles together, comes up with ideas, solicits pictures or articles from residents, and then gets that information out there, as well as important information from the board or information that you need to know as far as business in the community. And the biggest one is then carrying out the instructions and policies of the board of directors. I think one of the confusing things for a lot of homeowners is they assume that the management team is the one calling the shots. But ultimately, it's the board of directors who makes the decisions for your community, your elected representatives, and it's our responsibility to carry out those instructions and decisions that they make. Everyone who is on the management team is an employee of CCMC. CCMC is a management company that's been hired by DW Sweetgrass HOA to handle these responsibilities here in the neighborhood. So, next slide. So just here's a picture of everyone who's on the team. It's 2 slides long because it's quite a big team, but there's myself, Kelly Riley Salyers, I'm your community manager. Stephen Martinez, lifestyle director. Steve Messenger, maintenance director. Rick Brightigam, who's community standards director. One of our newest team members, Erica Martinez, administrative and lifestyle coordinator. Javier Ramirez, who's with maintenance. And then our 4 ladies who are front desk concierge at the Barb Alt, Margaret Epps, Leslie Roman, and Judy Turby. Several of these are also homeowners, by the way. They not just work here, but they also live here. It also takes a team of people who are not on site. There's a large team of behind the scenes people who help make the operating of the community a success. Here's a list of them here. I'm not going to go into details, but these persons would be based out of primarily our Dallas office, which is where CCMC started, and our corporate office, which is in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, Kelly, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Bruce.
All right, let's talk about what the board has been doing, and I'll ask Don Tomlinson to fill us in on what's been going on. Don?
Happy to do that, Bruce. Thanks very much. Hello, everyone. Well, we had a successful transition from a declarant board to a homeowner board. I think all of us are pleased about that. I certainly am. We elected 5 homeowner board members, and the new board then elected officers, which you've heard about, and we have been working since last August. Our actions so far have concerned and included reestablishing coffee service in the lake house, the estate sale policy, gift and donation policy, which is new, the policy concerning guest use of facilities at the lake house, the parking policy, the holiday decorating policy concerning the neighborhood monuments, a security measures policy. This involves a legislative change that affects things such as perimeter fencing, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that as time goes along. A hearing policy concerning hearings held by the board at the request of a homeowner on a specific topic concerning that homeowner. a bid solicitation policy to be used when the HOA is seeking a contractor for work in excess of $50,000, the religious items display policy, and partnering with a company that facilitates goods and services discounts for the HOA and Sweetgrass residents. Also, we have filled the open positions on the ARC and the finance committees. We have reintroduced the Neighborhood Advisory Council, which you just heard Bruce speak about, and we are all very excited about how we're going to move forward with that organization. We dissolved the Welcome Committee and the Needs Assessment Committee. As Bruce indicated, welcoming duties now will be handled by the neighborhood reps and the front desk at the Lake House. Needs assessment and matters concerning needs will be handled through the Finance Committee. The board would like to take this opportunity to thank all the Sweetgrass residents who worked on these two committees over the years. Individual board members have spoken to a number of neighborhood groups at their meetings. Please let one or more of us know should you like any of us to come speak when you have a neighborhood gathering. We would be happy to do so. The board has many other matters under review and under consideration. The next board meeting is scheduled for early February, and we will have more announcements then. The five of us would like to thank you for the confidence you have shown in us. We are privileged to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Financial recap, I'd like to introduce Larry Gervin, our treasurer. Larry, would you take it from here, please?
Sure will. Thanks, Bruce, and hello, everybody out there. It's been a good year in 2021 if we look at the financial side. We have an operating balance at the end of 2021 of a little over $961,000. That includes $495,500 in money market. Reserves, well, they're at $1,454,000. And you may recall that we were shooting for $1,250,000. We have probably, in some people's eyes, a little more reserve money than we should, but congratulations to being able to be where we are right now. I'm proud to say we're also collecting assessments on all 1,539 homes. You can see there the summaries of the revenues, the administrative, the utilities, insurance, taxes, etc. What's important is down on the bottom right-hand corner, we have almost $65,000 in profit. And that's saying something when you consider we weren't able to use all of the facilities for all the meetings and everything we usually do. I'm very proud of where we are financially. I believe there's the next page with the reserves. The reserves, like I say, $1.4 million, almost $1.5 million. We missed $1.5 million by about $60,000, and that's not to be sneezed at. In 2022, furniture decorations for the office, landscaping of about $50,000, and we're looking at some pool outdoor furniture. The key to 2022 with reserves is we do now have a reserve management team as part of the finance committee. We met this morning, and they were prepared to show the board where they are. And Kelly and I sort of had to hold them back a little. We are having a new reserve study done in 2022, and I'm real pleased with that. I think that we'll find that's all good. Last thing I'd like to remind everybody is that we are going to do budget basics. We were going to kick it off in January, and due to COVID, one more time, we had to sit back and say we couldn't do it. But we're using this time to try something even better, and that is that we're going to upgrade budget basics, and we're going to be able to have all the 2022 budget now included in budget basics. And we're going to do our first test model in-house in February, and we're going to be on ready to go, providing COVID doesn't do anything again on March 1st. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Larry. Kelly, would you give us an update on the management
You bet.
company's activities?
So I'm gonna start out with the COVID update. As most of you know, Fort Bend County is currently at risk level orange, which they consider to be moderate/significant community risk for exposure to COVID. But as a reminder, the lake house is still currently open. We will have events, activities, and meetings on a case-by-case basis, but we're not requiring that any committees, clubs, or groups cancel their meetings. Individuals are welcome to come to the lake house. Committees, clubs, groups, activities are still welcome to come up here and use the facilities for their meetings or their functions. Just understand that you do so, at your own risk, of course. Should it become necessary, it is important to note that the board does have the authority to close the lake house. Again, that's not something that's currently even been discussed or entertained at this point, but should things take a nosedive when it comes to COVID, that is something the board has the authority to do. We definitely recommend that people wear masks and social distance when possible. And then we do have sanitizing bottles and stations located all throughout the lake house in the open areas. And so, we ask that you just use them when you're here and continue to come up and enjoy yourself here. We'd love to see you. So. As far as the association summary for the year, we added 4 new staff members, myself, your community manager, Leslie, who's at our front desk, Javier with maintenance, and again, Erica with our administrative and lifestyle team. We completed the lake house exterior project on the building. This was a huge project. It went on for several months. We're very excited that it's completed. This project was paid for entirely by Pulte, so the association did not have to contribute at all towards the completion of shoring up the outside of the buildings and the columns and making sure that our facility is safe and secure. It also did come with a 5-year warranty, so we're very excited about that as well. We spent quite a bit of time restructuring the mysweetgrass.net website. Hopefully those of you who use the site regularly have noticed, and those of you who haven't used the site regularly will start to use it more now that it's a lot more user-friendly. Stephen's going to go into that a little bit more later, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but we did a lot of cleaning up, moving things around, easier to find. We made the color scheme match the rest of the neighborhood color scheme, and it's a very nice layout and very easy to use. So. We have a lot of multiple large-scale maintenance projects this year. As most of you know, we completed the repairs to the women's locker room showers. This had been an ongoing issue for some time, and the repair does appear to be completely successful. We've had no issues with leakages since it was done. We repaired sidewalk repairs around the lake and the nature park, areas where we're either lifting or sinking or chipping. All that's been repaired. We did lots of landscaping refurbishment, all the beds along 762. The beds near the main monument sign and waterfall, all the neighborhood monument beds, and then beds at key entry points like the Great Blue Heron Drive and over at Sweetgrass Circle and Sweet Drive. We're not entirely done with beds. I'm sure as you drive through the neighborhood, you can still see some beds that need attention. Those are on the schedule for this coming year, but we've handled a good portion of the bed refurbishment throughout the community. We did pause for the winter as we don't want to put new plants in that if we have a storm come up and it freezes, we don't want to lose them immediately. So. We also repaired the irrigation pump at the lake. We power washed all of the community mailboxes. We power washed all the sport courts and outdoor pool awnings at the lake house. We power washed and restriped the lake house parking lot. We repainted the outdoor pool fence. We recovered the billiards room tables. And we are in the process now of resealing the lake house roof. That project is actually current. They finished the cleaning and now they're in the portion where they are resealing. So lots of big projects that took place really in the last 6 months of the year. We did have a couple of awards and accolades this year that we're pretty proud of. We received first place for Best Retirement Community in Fort Bend County. This was part of Fort Bend Herald's Best of Fort Bend contest. So congratulations to the Lake House and everyone that lives here. And then we received 4 nominations for the Greater Houston Community Association's Institute chapter. Nominations for Community Manager of the Year for myself, Supporting Staff Member of the Year for Stephen Martinez, Volunteer of the Year for Bruce Gilman, and then we also received a nomination for the Community Spirit Award. Ultimately, we didn't actually win any of the nominations that we received, but we were very excited to be nominated. This was the first year that Sweetgrass was recognized. It's a big award ceremony in the industry, and we were pleased that we received so many nominations all at once. So looking forward to next year, we're not planning to slow down. There's still a lot going on in the neighborhood. We're currently looking at the replacement and upgrade to the Lake House security and access system, as well as introducing surveillance cameras and key points within the Lake House, possibly in other places in the community. That's something that we'll be partnering really with on our new safety committee to sort of tackle and come to some decisions on. We're going to continue to reintroduce new lifestyle programming. Even with COVID going on, we're going to try to do a variety of different programming so that, depending on your comfort level, there are still things for you to do to get out there and get involved. Like Larry mentioned earlier, we're going to be rolling out budget basics in partnership with the finance committee. I'm going to be reintroducing Sweetgrass 101, which is sort of an introductory class that we do for new owners when they move into the neighborhood. We're going to be increasing partnerships and sponsorships with local businesses. Again, we're going to be updating our reserve study, which will help us with long-term planning of reserve projects. Continue to replace the Lake House audio video equipment. You notice that some of that has already been replaced. Thanks in part to Dawn and Larry for their hard work on that already. And then we're reintroducing the quarterly neighborhood advisory council meetings. Maintenance projects that are on our radar already. We're going to be rolling out a new work order system and monthly report for our maintenance department. These reports will be placed onto mysweetgrass.net so that homeowners can see them and get a better idea of what maintenance projects are going on without having to wonder, who do I reach out to, or what's happening with my maintenance tickets. We really want to get this off the ground and make it so that maintenance is much more transparent. We want to finish the refurbishment of the landscaping beds that still need to be refurbished. We're going to be restaining the lake house front and back porch. The bollard light project around the lake, this one was already approved last year. We're simply waiting on parts. Like a lot of businesses these days, supply chain issues are real, and we're just waiting for our new lights to come in. As soon as they get here, those will go in. We're looking at some more long-term solutions for the issues that we have with the Ceresco unit at the indoor pool area. That is the HVAC system at the indoor pool. We need to do the same repairs to the men's locker room showers that we did on the ladies' locker room showers. It's time for us to review our fitness equipment lease. So we'll be taking a look at the equipment that we have, what new equipment is available, what new lease options exist. And then we'll be working with the finance committee and the board to complete any reserve action items that those committees and board approve for us to do in 2022. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Rick Breitigam, who's our Community Standards Director, and he's going to give us just a general update on community standards in 2021. Rick, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so just a quick update on 2021 numbers. For the ARC, there was a total of 776 applications. 281 of those were approved as submitted. 108 of those were approved with conditions. Most of the conditions were just standard design guideline requirements. There were 8 applications that were declined. I believe a few of them actually came back, resubmitted, and were approved later on. 379 streamlined applications were approved. If you haven't done that before, always check that application first. It's a quick form with pre-approved requirements from the ARC. No denials for the streamlined and no withdrawn. And for the compliance side of things, can't see the numbers on there, but we had 238 courtesy notices go out, 96 violation notices, 12 went in the fines. Of course, we want that to go to 0. We don't want any fines in the community. And then we had 4 self-help letters go out. And what that is if the community has to send a vendor to a homeowner's house and fix an issue, that's what that is. The most common violations were for unimproved improvements. That's people not submitting their ARCs, and then me going out and finding those. So please submit the ARCs before you add something to the lot. The next was landscape maintenance, just general grass, bushes, things like that. And then sign violations. Quick note on that is your for sale signs, please make sure they're under 4-foot height and no contractor signs without an ARC approval. So thank you.
At this point, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Stephen Martinez, who's our lifestyle director, and he's going to give us the lifestyle update.
Hello, 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 everybody. It's your lifestyle director, Stephen Martinez, coming to you live from my office. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and kick things off with the CCGA update. What is CCGA? Well, CCGA stands for Committees, Chartered Clubs, Groups, and Activities. Just some fun facts. Did you know that Sweetgrass currently has 6 committees that are board appointed, 19 that are neighborhood committees, 33 current chartered clubs, and 10 special interest groups. An even bigger fun fact is the lifestyle team has processed over 200 recurring room requests for 2022, totaling over to a little more than 4,200 hours within the Lake House meeting spaces. That's not including any lifestyle events, HOA, business meetings, or fitness classes, all of that. So that's just a little overview of where we're at with room reservations. Speaking of room reservations, we're going to go into Lake House room reservations in general. Just remember, all CCGAs should submit their recurring Lake House reservation request forms annually. Alrighty, room reservations are only valid for 1 calendar year. As you saw in the previous slide, due to high demand for Lake House meeting space, we may be unable to offer all CCGAs their first choice. So within this last round of room reservations, we asked for a first and a second, and we tried to do the best we could with room reservations. Any changes to approved schedules should be submitted in writing at least 2 weeks in advance, so we may adjust the calendar and staffing accordingly. And lastly, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Erica with any questions regarding your room reservations. You can reach out to us via email, phone call, or just make an appointment if you want to go ahead and chat with either one of us to discuss your room reservation or your layout. Another portion of my lifestyle hat is communications. So I wanted to give you a brief summary in regards to what communications has been up to. As Kelly mentioned earlier, we did some updates to the website. Yes, if you are a avid user of the website, I'm sure you've noticed that our website colors have changed. So we have within this slideshow presentation as well, you can see that you're seeing a lot of blues and greens and whites. So we went back to the blues, greens, and whites within our color scheme. So that is what you will see a lot of on the website. In doing so, we also cleaned up the home menu tabs for easier navigation. We've been receiving a lot of positive feedback regarding this. So thank you for all of that positive feedback. We reorganized some pages and layouts. It was a lot to go ahead and do in front of house and behind the scenes, a lot behind the scenes. So that is all taken care of. We sorted and organized documents and forms, so now that should be easier to find. We've also uploaded some of the forms onto the website, so that way you can find them electronically. You can go onto the website, fill it in, print it out, sign it, and drop it off. We've cleaned up a lot, as I said, behind the scenes with connections and misfires. And there were so many that I'm sure that I missed one or two. So if you're on the website and you find one, shoot me an email, let me know where it's at, and I'll take care of it right away. In regards to Breeze updates, we partnered with the Sweetgrass Photography Club for new weekly headers. All those amazing photos that you've been seeing at the top of the Breeze are thanks from the Sweetgrass Photography Club. So big applause to the Photography Club for their contribution. We've renamed the weekly e-blast. As you can tell, it's no longer called the Friday e-blast. We've renamed it to the Sweetgrass Breeze. We've branded the community colors into this communication tool, reformatted the design to clean up the email for easier loading. And one of the main things we did was added landing pages to this. So it gives our CCGAs more space to upload more content. And with that, when you open your email, it doesn't slow a load or use up a lot of your data with so many photos. So now you have landing pages that you can go in and visit all of your different CCGA announcements. And those announcements will also be tagged onto our social media page. And then another addition that we recently added was our quick links. And those quick links, you can find the Lake House, a link to take you to the Lake House calendar, the announcements page that I just mentioned, and your community partners page, as well as a digital copy of the current month's Bayou Buzz. More on communications, we have some standings. I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview as to where we are in regards to emails. So when you open your email, we're looking at 75% of residents who are actually opening the weekly email. And within that 75%, 13% are actually clicking on the links that are without the email. So please, 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 when you're opening your email, just go ahead and click on a couple of those links because you're missing out on some very important information. Also, we have the current social media standings within our Facebook followers. We have currently sitting at 716 with 570 Facebook likes. A lot of questions that I've been getting recently is, what is the official Facebook page for our association? Well, here it is, friends. You can go ahead and see it here. Go ahead and add this to your bookmarks. It is facebook.com/DW Sweetgrass HOA. It is also the same, the last portion of it, for our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, you would go to see our board meetings, some upcoming events that we're going to be having via streaming live within 2022 and more. So just make sure you go ahead and take these links and you bookmark them, and you have a place to visit us. So we have an electronic version of Lifestyle. Next is Lifestyle Rewind. Let's go ahead and take you back to 2021 so you can see all that we did. All right. Well, with that, that was 2021. Let's take a look at 2022. This is what we have going on. It's just a bit of a lifestyle at a glance. Just to go ahead and skim over a couple of things, we're going to go ahead and kick things off in February, fingers crossed, with our Super Bowl Saturday tailgate party. And at the end of the month, our Mardi Gras at Sweetgrass. Be on the lookout for that. And then in March, we've got the usual suspects types of things, but we're also rolling out 2 major events. You'll go ahead and be seeing this lifestyle at a glance as a whole in next month's Bayou Buzz, so you can go ahead and look at it, look over it, and just mark your calendar for a couple of these fun events. New to 2022 will be boots, buckles, and beer. That's something that I'm excited about. We also have March Meetup Madness, highlighting a couple of activities that go on here at the Lake House. Craftapalooza will be the name of our arts and craft fair that we will have not once but twice this year. Classically Classic, which will be a classic car show featuring a classic rock band. So that's something I'm super excited about. As you know, I love music, I love live music, and I love cars. So that's all 3. And last but not least, we've got Sweetgrass TV. Go ahead and stay in the loop when you're here at the Lake House and see all that we have to offer with this new communications tool that we'll be rolling out called Sweetgrass TV. That and much, much more. And from the world of lifestyle, special thanks goes out to our 2021 community partners. Here is a list of all of the ones that played an active role within our lifestyle programming for 2021. And you will be seeing many of these community partners still participating in 2022. If you have anybody that you'd like me to reach out to, feel free to go ahead and send me an email, or if you want me to connect with them, they can come on by. Let's make an appointment. Thank you so much, friends. Bruce, I'm going to turn things over to you.
Okay, Stephen, thank you very much for that presentation. Lots of things to look forward to and lots of activities last year. Hopefully this year we'll be blessed with no COVID and we can have even more fun. I'd like to thank everyone for your attendance. Apologies again for starting late. We had some technical problems. There being no further business, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.